Greetings to all of humanity. It's really a joy, it's a pleasure, it's an honor to be out here in nature as usual, bringing this message of self-realization to you, this message of emancipation, whereby I'm pointing you to look inwardly to discover your true identity, to be your divinity. That's the reason why I take this moment to speak to you concerning alchemy and how Abdullah, the black mystic from Ethiopia, Neville Goddard mentor, was a true alchemist. That's the reason why he was able to teach Neville how to transmute energy to become his reality. So here was Neville, the student, having the strong desire to see his family, want to go back to Barbados to be with his family. Yet there was no money. Yet there was no work. It was a time of great depression. And Neville was a dancer, and no one would pay to see a dancer because it was 1933 and unemployment was at its highest because it was a time of great drought. And so Neville, when he looked around, all he could have seen within his mind was lack, scarcity, limitation. But here was Abdullah, a true alchemist who understood alchemy, one who understood earth, wind, fire, water, and spirit, and realize that everything that you see, it have to come from the elements. Also, Abdullah understood that our brain is a transmitter and a receiver of frequency, and that a thought is a vibrational frequency, and that we can use our thoughts, or we use our thoughts to create our reality, and that we can create our reality consciously, and that is true alchemy. So therefore, Abdullah, who wanted to teach us the power of alchemy and how to know that we are actually alchemists, because we want to come to a place of discovering that we are God and to purify ourselves, purify our mind. So Abdullah, who had this kind of wisdom, was willing to share this wisdom with Neville, not only by theory, by giving him the practical to prove for himself. That's the reason why, my brother and my sisters, I always find the time to be out here to bring a message of value to you, because as one who have come to self-realization, self-actualization, I hold myself responsible for the things that I would have experienced. Therefore, I see it fit to bring value to humanity. I see it fit to uplift humanity. I see it fit to teach humanity that imagination creates reality, and that consciousness is the only reality. I have no other identity but consciousness. I have no race but consciousness. I have nothing else but consciousness. That's why I know that everything I see without, it is within. And that everything and everyone is myself pushed out. And all this wisdom was taught by our ancestor, Abdullah, to point us to go back to that place that we came from. Many people are looking to Mecca. Some are looking to Africa. And they develop a geographical mentality. There are many who are saying that they become conscious now and they're going to Ghana and all of these other places. But the last place that they are looking to go and dwell is within. The last place of residence is within. But you have to take residence within and do the act of the alchemist. Create your reality consciously. And when you learn to create your reality consciously, you can live in any country. You can live and survive in any economy. Because you will come to realize that the land of opportunity is right between your two ears. In my country, many believe that I am crazy. But those who believe that I'm crazy and they hold to secular Christianity, many of them are selling their children to the British Army. Many of them are running to go to America, Canada, and England and thinking that those places are the land of opportunity. But here am I telling you, when you understand alchemy and you realize that you're supposed to be the alchemist, you're supposed to be God in flesh, you're supposed to be able to take the invisible substance and transmute it into whatever you want it to be, and understand energy transmutation. When you do that, you do not have to run to go to any strange land. You know where to look, and you will look within. Because you come to realize that your identity is your true divinity. Now, let me just say this. Abdullah taught Neville through Christianity. He taught him that the Bible addresses the human mind and must be interpreted psychologically, and that the Bible have to do with alchemy. And those who understand the Bible and experience the Bible inwardly, psychologically, and can create their reality consciously, they are true alchemists. They will come to their place of purity. They come to their place of knowing their God self, their higher self, their creative self. They come to understand all the things that have been hidden from them, because they will become illuminated. Therefore, he pointed to a very important scripture in the Bible, but many fail to see that scripture, whereby it states that you must not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. The alchemists do not bow to conformity. The alchemists believe in transmutation. The alchemists believe that you can transform yourself by the renewing of your mind. The alchemists believe that if you change your thinking, that you will change your reality. The alchemist knows that it is your thought that is creating your reality. Therefore, the alchemist also knows that if there is no enemy within, the enemy without can do you no harm. Therefore, the alchemist don't blame a devil. The alchemist knows that your lower self or your negative self is the devil. The alchemist knows that your higher self is your true self, your God self, your creative self. The alchemist knows that he's immortal, so he's not afraid of death. He embraces death, and he knows that death is just an expansion of life. The alchemist knows that life and death are basically the same thing. That a birth is a death and a death is a birth. So the alchemists don't dwell on secular Christianity, believing in a literal hell or a literal devil, or believe in a God in the sky, or believe in a God outside of himself. The alchemist knows that God is life and life is God, and that you can't separate God from life or life from God. The alchemist knows the I am. That I am is the name of God. From generation to generation, it's a memorial. The alchemist knows that the universal question of life is, who am I? And when the answer comes, it must be I am. I am that I am. I am whatever I believe myself to be. For as a man taketh in his heart, so is he. And we can take the invisible substance and create our reality and create it consciously. So with all of that being said, my brother, my sister, it's time for us to practice true alchemy and become a true alchemist like our ancestor Abdullah would have taught us. But we have to learn to reprogram our subconscious mind. That's the reason why, my brother, my sister, I'm offering mentorship to those who would like to be mentored by one who's carrying on the work of Abdullah, the black mystic from Ethiopia. And I'm willing and I'm ready to help you. And the reason why that I'm willing and ready, and I believe that I'm qualified, it is because of what would have taken place in my life. For my brother and my sisters, hadn't it been that I would have awakened within myself like a fiery being, and that single eye has been opened in me, I would have heard the unearthly wind and ascend and exit my skull and became invisible and had a birth from above, and understand the true virgin birth, and understand also when it said, as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, so shall the Son of Man be lifted up. Hadn't it been that I would have ascended and understand that I descended into generation and into generation and that I ascended into regeneration and had an awakened imagination, I would have been here offering my service to you. Now, it is because I understand the divine law of reproduction that every seed and every species reproduce after its own kind. And if I'm awakened and enlightened and you walk with me, you will produce the same. So with that being said, my brother and my sisters, if what I'm saying to you, if it makes sense to you and it's resonating with you, then I'm asking you, if you haven't subscribed already, to subscribe, to like, to comment, and to share, and to take my mentorship. The information is right down below for you, so you can check out the information. But before I leave you, I want to remind you that this message I bring to you, it is the single eye message of self-realization, of which Matthew 6:22 says, if I be single, your whole body will be full of light. And it is because I would have had that experience why I always give you the symbol of the single eye, letting you know that when you have the experience, you'll come to realize that it is the rising of the S-U-N in a S-O-N, and that it is dawning of a new day in your life. For the sun paralyzes the human imagination, and the human imagination paralyzes the sun. For without the human imagination, there isn't anything made that was made. And without the sun, there is no life, and there is no light, for the sun is the giver of all life. And Psalms 84:11 says that the Lord thy God is a sun and a shield, and no good thing will he withhold from you. Also, Malachi 4:2 says that the sun, as in the S-U-N of righteousness, shall arise in you with healing in his wings. Therefore, my brother and my sister, my encouragement to you is to use your mind power, your solar power, your sun power, your creative power, your God power to achieve your every desire, just like we've been taught by our ancestor Abdullah, and be the true alchemist of our lives. With that being said, I want to say peace, love you all, I'm out.